What is going on, Jerome's? Hopefully you're enjoying the long Labor Day weekend, being safe, but also getting after it. We got some random Vikings news stories and tidbits well, they're not really newsworthy, but we wanted to talk anyway. But there's a lot going on. First off, 1 week, because this is dropping like noonish, so 1 week from now, historic U.S. Bank Stadium hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Baker Mayfield. The Vikings busting out these sexy-ass throwback uniforms. Woo, woo. They're amazing, man. Now, I've sort of been biding my time and waiting to get one of these jerseys because early returns, a lot of people aren't really thrilled about the price tag. Also, even if you got the highest end one, it's still press on numbers and lettering versus the stitch. I did see a dude with a stitched throwback version, but of course got it from China, that whole thing. So either way, the jerseys are going to be awesome. I actually think, screw it. The whole thing is about sometimes, I don't know if we're supposed to say this. I feel like sometimes the knockoff jerseys are of higher quality than the official ones. It's kind of strange what happens. Anyway, this is going to be a great aesthetic at US Bank Stadium. It's going to be, can't wait, man. Can't wait. But in the interim, it is fantastic when college football goes from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's good, man. So the game of the weekend happened on Saturday, where Coach Prime and the Buffaloes 45-42 win in Fort Worth against the TCU Horned Frogs, last year's national champion participants. Sort of. There you go. But, as 21-point underdogs, win in and just got it done. And Shadeur Sanders, I actually do think that Shadeur Sanders could be, he could be something. Now, a lot of people discounted him before the season in terms of a draft prospect because there's okay, he's 6'2", but lean frame. Comes from a gimmicky offense. Played HBCU. All that stuff. Where he only operates because his dad's a coach. That thing. But no, I mean, Shadeur actually has a legit arm. He delivers a great, accurate ball. He throws with anticipation. He's got movement skills as well. So I actually think that he could be a legitimate prospect. And, everyone and their mom, right now it's Caleb Williams, Drake May. There's a whole lot of other quarterbacks that are going to be rising up through this process as well. Penix, Ewers, Bo Nix, Jumpin' Joe Milton with that cannon, man. It's going to be fun. But I actually do think that Shadeur could be a name that really rises up the draft boards. And, maybe not launch into the top 10, but could he be a first-round pick? Sure, certainly. And with the Vikings drafting at 32, do they make a move and a play for a rookie quarterback? Because this team is going to be set up perfectly for a quarterback on his rookie deal. If they do move on from Kirk Cousins, they do have that $28.5 million dead in the void cap charge next year. But, cap-wise, they're going to be set up perfectly fine. And with Hawkinson and JJ and Darisaw getting paid, and also Jordan Addison on his rookie deal, this is set up to have a rookie deal signal caller. So, I mean, could Sanders be the guy? God, that'd be a lot of fun. That'd be a lot of fun, man. Speaking of college football fun and Jordan Addison, so Addison, as well as Mekhi Blackman, the two Vikings rookies, top 2 picks in this year's draft, they return to Troy, LA Coliseum, as USC just dismantled, destroyed Nevada, all that stuff, right? So it was great to see them back at the alma mater, as well as just bring Caleb Williams one time. I mean, just bring him with. And here's the thing, too. Yes, lower level competition, and so it was basically just like 7-on-7 practice. But I feel like Caleb Williams gets a ton of hype. I feel like he lives up to it and exceeds it for the most part, where the arm is there, the anticipation is there, the creativity is there, the leadership, the loquaciousness, the everything is there, man. And I know that it can be a detriment to have one more year in college after you've already been deemed as a top draft pick, even though obviously Williams couldn't declare yet, because the media loves to build people up and then tear them down. But if they already built you up, it's hard for them to build you up more. But I think that Williams is going to have himself another great season. I think that he's going to be. I think he has a chance to be Heisman back to back. So we'll see. We'll see, man. Speaking of C, so KJ Osborn, what happens is the weekend, Labor Day weekend, players generally get out of town, have one last vacation, which is great. And KJ is on a flight. He gone on a flight with headphones on. Flight attendant whispers to me what I thought was Viking. I said yes, but now that I think about it, maybe he said vodka. TBD. Now he didn't follow up with the God of Vodka, but so just think about this rationally and logically. Like I think that he said Viking, right? Because KJ, he's pretty well known. Big time plays. Obviously, name and face splashed everywhere during the highlights. So yeah, even like a casual fan or even a non-football fan has probably seen KJ Osborn with some of his big plays and big highlights, right? So he would stand out. Also, who just if you're getting a drink order and if KJ hadn't had a drink before and you just lean and say vodka, that'd be really random, wouldn't it? Where it's like, hey, would you care for a beverage? Well, you wouldn't just leave with vodka. Like this isn't Mother Russia. Vodka, duh. No, you ain't gonna do that. So I think he said Viking for sure. Speaking of vodka, so Chad Greenway, great Duck Spirits, fantastic. So he was on KFan 9 to noon, Friday football feast with PA in charge at the State Fair, and so Greenway. So I listened back to the segment, and Greenway's bringing some heat. He's bringing some stank and some fire. Like first off, he like threw every quarterback he ever played with under the bus, which is understandable. But talk about the Vikings defense and getting aggressive on that side of the ball. This is what he said. We're not sitting back playing Leslie Frazier's Tampa 2, just getting dinked and dunked on drives. We're going to go attack people. And then, Greenway went on to talk about how it was like during the prime Zimmer years where you're going to, you might get beat on a play or two, but you're going to get after the quarterback's ass and everything like that. And it's so funny because PA in charge, like they completely ignored it. Like they completely glossed over the fact that Greenway just committed like manslaughter on one of his former coaches. And also, it's not like Leslie was fly by night, like one and done in Greenway's career. Chad was drafted in 2006 out of Iowa, tore his ACL. First full season was 2007. That was the year that Leslie came in as defensive coordinator. So the first 7 playing seasons of Chad's career was with Leslie Frazier, 4 as a defensive coordinator and 3 as a head coach. So obviously Chad knows the defense very well. And the whole thing about the Tampa 2 is like everyone wanted to do it after the 2002 Bucks. All right, and the thesis of it is that, hey, you rush 4, you get a pass rush up front with 4, you have 2 deep safeties, and you play zone underneath, and your middle linebacker has to have range and cover that middle deep third of the field. That's what you need, right? And turns out, because it happens a ton. Like all teams around the league have some variation of the Tampa 2, but some teams run it as their base defense. But it turns out your defense, you can run the Tampa 2 when you have Warren Sapp and you have Derek Brooks and you have John Lynch and you have Rondé Barber. Turns out things are a lot easier when they can run any defense they want, right? And the Vikings defense had some talent, during Chad's years. But I mean, Chad will be the first to tell you, is like, hey, I had myself a very good career. I was a hell of a player, but I know Derek Brooks. All right, so maybe Chad's got some issues with Leslie, but I love that it just got completely not addressed. it was great, man. So the opposite of great. So the Vikings obviously partners with Sleep Number. Actually, I think Sleep Number is the official mattress of the National Football League. So there you go. But the phraseology of this tweet throws me off. So we know the championship standard, do we? Do we really? Now it's time to go chase that Lombardi. Bunch of issues here. Number one, so we called the Jerome Barty. First off, because of branding, because we're selfish. But also, I could not fathom acknowledging the name of the trophy that was named after the head coach of your most hated rival. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I can't do it. All right, so say he gets unsuspended and Jim Harbaugh wins like 17 national titles in a row, and they rename the national title trophy the Harbaugh. Do you think if Ohio State wins that thing, they're gonna be like, "Hey, we won a Harbaugh. Look at us." Blah 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 blah. Nah, ain't gonna happen. Or hell, more accurately, if they name it the Saban, and Auburn somehow, some way rips off another national title, maybe they gotta bring back Gene Chizik and buy Cam Newton again. But if they do that on the Plains, you think they're gonna hoist up the Saban and be like, "Yeah, we won the Saban"? No. So I understand semantics, but this one bugs me. This one bugs me, man. I mean, you got to know. I mean, you got to know where it's like when the Vikings and the Twins were in the Dome, they had the Dome Dog by Hormel, which is a great Minnesota company. The Pride of Awesome Minnesota. It was great. But then for a couple pennies more, they brought in Sheboygan. Like Sheboygan meats, Sheboygan hot. I don't remember what it is, but the whole thing was the jingle where they had Christian Ponder's like, "Hi, I'm Christian Ponder. I'm a quarterback, and when I'm not quarterbacking, sometimes I like eating hot dogs. That's why I got Sheboygan on my mind." And then the jingle was like, "I got Sheboygan on my mind." It was a pretty good jingle, but why, as a Minnesota sports entity, as the Vikings and the Twins, would you bring in a Wisconsin sponsor? So you got a Wisconsin sausage sponsoring your hot dogs now, when you had a sponsor, Hormel, Awesome Minnesota, from the great state of Minnesota, right there, for a couple pennies, for a couple bucks, you sold your soul. I'm sure that there's a deeper conversation there, but yeah, we're a mile wide but an inch deep. That's what she said. So this has nothing to do with anything, but do you ever read a tweet or a headline really fast and you're just like, oh, right? Because I had that. Diana Rossini tweeted something out about Justin Jefferson's extension, and she used again, semantics. She used the phrase that the Vikings and Jefferson's camp have traded deals back and forth, right? So I just read Justin Jefferson traded, right? And this one, rap sheet, Cooper Kupp is in Minnesota, so that's why. So we just move on from KJ right now. Yeah, KJ and the third for Cooper Kupp. Why the hell not, man? Well, yeah, reunited with Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips, and it feels so good. But yeah, Cooper Kupp, unfortunately, pulled his hamstring for the second time this offseason, which really sucks because fantasy football. But yeah, Cooper Kupp is going to have a major year. But he pulled his hamstring again. Apparently, Minnesota has like a noted body specialist. So apparently, not only are we the Dome Dog capital of the world, but we're the hamstring capital of the world. So that's why he's in Minnesota. But hey, you know where they have great treatment for hamstrings? TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill. You could probably get a Dome Dog there too. I don't know. There we go. But that's it. That's random Sunday musings. Hopefully you're enjoying the long Labor Day weekend. I certainly am. And also 1 week from today, Bucks are going down by 50, man. But let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes while support the work. Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.